Hey, does anyone remember this pop song from around 2008? I used to work on a university campus radio station in college. We used to talk about current events around the school, any news around the surrounding town, and played requesting songs for students, something our school surprisingly allowed. I remember a very weird couple of months where students who turned into a show constantly requested a song called See You After Babe, a pop song by some one-hit wonder group called Symmetry Icon, the dumbest name for a band that I've ever heard. But that song was huge around October and November of 2008. As of one of the campus radio station's DJs, I had to play the song over like 100 times for 2 months. I had heard it everywhere, in malls, gas stations, on radio stations, and I think even on MTV. Something was weird about that song, but I couldn't remember exactly what. I tried Googling the song and band, but nothing ever came up, and in the results for either of them. Not even on YouTube had a single clip of the song. I frequent an alumni Facebook page for my school, and I posted a question on there asking if anyone remembered the song. The post got a bunch of likes, and a lot of people started hitting me up about things that they recall about Symmetry Icon's mysterious hit. One girl wrote on me about how she couldn't remember how it went, but that the lyrics were kinda awkward and unconventional. Another classmate told me that the song was so catchy and that it was stuck in his head for like weeks. A week went by since I had posted on the alumni page, and I got a message from a guy that used to live in the dorm next to mine named Matt. Matt private messaged me asking if I had found any leads about the song. I told him no. He told me that he had nothing but bad memories about the song. Here are the messages verbatim. Note, Paul was his dorm roommate. Yeah, dude, I haven't heard that song since that year. I remember Paul would always crank it up in the room. I can't remember how it went, but I remember it was kinda unusual and not its typical pop song, but everyone loved it. I couldn't stand it. Paul really loved it though. He always would be humming it, and then one day I never heard it again. And Paul was acting totally strange. He would always be partying and outgoing and shit, but around that time he got super depressed. One day I asked him what was up, and he said that he couldn't get that song out of his head, and that it's gone forever now, and he'll never be able to hear it again. I don't know now, dude, but Paul's still not doing so well. He's got no job, no girl, hardly ever talks to anyone. I message him every now and then just to see how he's doing, and he says he misses 2008 when life was good. I told him to see a shrink, but he says that it won't help, that he just needs something new to listen to. He's a part of that alumni group, and I know he's seen your post, and I'm worried that he's gonna snap. Can you talk to him? I messaged Paul soon after, asking him how he was. Hey, Paul, long time no see, man. How's it going?
Sal, yo, good to hear from you.
How you been doing, bud?
I'm okay, just trudging along as always.
Oh, that's good.
I saw what you put on the alumni page. Dude, that song was my life. I miss it so much, I can't believe it's gone.
Well, I'm sure someone will find it.
Nah, man, it's gone. That's how the world is. Things come and go. SI made that song that was alive, and now it's dead. Man, I miss it. Those were the days. I know I'm acting weird. Matt always says I need to get some help, but I need to hear that song again. And it just sucks knowing I never will.
Freaked out, I sort of stopped talking about the song after that and just resumed making small talk with him until we both signed off. The next evening, not even 24 hours later, I come home from work seeing people posting on Paul's Facebook with a RIP and all sorts of condolences. Paul killed himself that day. I was horrified to hear that he had done it by stabbing himself in the face multiple times. And the thought that I was one of the last people to talk to him made me feel even worse. Matt messaged me that day too. It was because of that song. I'm sorry, Sal. it's not your fault. While I was thinking now it wouldn't have been in the best of taste to do it, right then and there I thought it'd be a great idea to see You After Babe somehow and maybe put it on Paul's wall, just for some sort of closure. I spent the entire following week asking Yahoo Answers, posting on music forums, and commenting on YouTube videos on 2008 pop songs. Nobody knew anything about the song or the band. I had put my email on some of these, but heard nothing until last night, December 27th. In my inbox was a message from someone named Brad Hotskins. The subject was Song by Symmetry Icon. Attached to it was the email with an MP3 file, and in it was this. Hey Sal, I saw your post on forum inquiring about Symmetry Icon songs See You After Babe, and thought I'd send you an email to clear things up and perhaps dissuade you from your search. I'm sending this to you in the hopes that will keep you from a discreet, as there are a lot of people who know anything from the song, and should the nature of it be released, it won't exactly be hard for any higher-ups to pinpoint who spilled the beans, but you seem like a nice guy, and I don't want you to do something you'll regret. Symmetry Icon was a young three-member pop group that started in 2007 and came out with an album by 2008. Hard to believe 2008 is close to being a decade ago, but obviously you know a lot of pop music was in that year. It was catchy, not too technical, upbeat, but not very hardcore clubbish yet. Kinda cheesy, synths and sounds. Look at Billboard's top 10 or 100 for that year, you'll see what I mean. Well, anyway, I was working as a part-time engineer for that sort of smaller record label that was trying to find a big break. They thought they had found it with Symmetry Icon because the group was very talented, especially for being so young. All three were 19 to 21 age. It was crazy how they could just start playing around on their instruments and just come up with a tune catchier than anything else the label had produced. While Symmetry Icon was signed up for our label, their manager was an outside hire that came with them like a package deal. This guy was the definition of weird. He looked like a stereotypical slimy businessman. He was super close with the band, though, and they wouldn't drop him no matter what kind of deals the label dangled in front of them. At every recording session, every meeting, this weird manager was right there whispering into the band's ear. It felt like behind every song and every decision was that creepy guy. The band was even comfortable telling us that for the most part their manager was coming up with the ideas for their songs. So one day the band misses a recording session because the lead singer's girlfriend is caught in a car accident that destroys her face. I had seen the girl before and she was absolutely beautiful, but after the accident, she looked like a monster. No right eye, lips gone, forehead caved in. It was horrific. And she knew it too. She unfortunately ended up killing herself, though I'm not sure exactly how. We were all really bummed about it too at the studio. The lead singer of the band, Andrew, was devastated. We told him to take some time with the new material, but at the new session, we saw him come in with a new song, and the band had written it themselves. They had given their creepy manager the slip. When we had asked him where he was, Andrew had said he can go F himself. Well, the song they brought in was See You After Babe, something Andrew had written in the light of his girlfriend getting disfigured. It was catchy and upbeat, but unlike anything the band had recorded for us. They handed us the lyrics, and we were taken back by how odd they were. I had been holding on to a copy of them for years now. Depressing stuff, yeah? At the studio, we thought so too. Plus, the chorus was 4 words in an incomplete sentence, that went off on a 4-note riff, so we all were sort of doubting its potential. But we recorded the entire song, mastered it, and sent it to the higher-ups who loved it and thought it would be a big hit. It went out on quite a number of radio stations who played it and played it like any other single. After a week, DJs asked us to interview the band, but Symmetry Icon wanted nothing to do with the press. One day, during another session, their creepy manager barged into the studio and started screaming at Andrew, the band, for releasing the song without his approval. Andrew started yelling right back about how he didn't want any of this, how they just wanted to play music and not get drawn into anything too serious. The manager was freaking out, saying the band would be nothing without him, how Andrew was just one of those who made the deal in the first place. I specifically remember Andrew saying it was supposed to be just for blood from us, not anybody else. The manager stormed out of the studio, going on about how he was going to ruin the song and the band for this. Said he was going to make anybody who liked the song end up just like Andrew's girlfriend. We never saw that guy again. After the fight, the weirdest shit I had ever seen in the industry happened in regards to that song. People were really getting into it. We even had huge companies trying to purchase the rights to have that song in their commercials. For a month, we heard it on the radio all the time, but suddenly, we got calls from radio stations saying that their listeners were acting weird about the song. It was the only song that they ever requested, that they called constantly to hear it. One station's DJ kept calling us daily to meet the band to talk about their life-changing track. He left voicemails screaming at us to meet the band. It started scaring the higher-ups on the label. People were getting calls, death threats, all sorts of horrible stuff just to hear a stupid pop song. It was like a drug. Symmetry Icon dropped off the face of the earth, and they wouldn't respond to our calls or anything. Soon the label and studio were both visited by government types who wanted to see if everything was okay with our operation. Our CFO was interviewed about the nature of the track and was told that something weird was going on with the people who were exposed to it for too long. I never heard exactly what the CFO was told, but the rumor was that people were offing themselves because they couldn't get it out of their heads. It affected some people more strongly than others, but those who did ended up offing themselves in a very specific way that freaked out the label, and they pulled the song. With the help of those government types, the label pulled See You After Babe and removed any trace of its existence. The staff was told never exactly why, but for a lot of 2008 we heard stories of agents going to radio stations and stopping DJs from playing the track, even arresting those who persisted. As if this wasn't disturbing enough, we later heard that all 3 members of Symmetry Icon had killed themselves not long after the song was taken off the air. Apparently they sliced up their own faces with shards of glass and bled to death. They left a note saying that they'd never be able to top See You After Babe and that there was no point trying. They were haunted by the song and used the glass to try to dig it out. I'm not sure if you believe in the supernatural, but I'm telling you right now that there is some shady reason why you can't find that song anywhere. And it's some bad voodoo, and it makes people do some crazy things to themselves. I know you want to do this for your friend, and I am sorry for your loss, but trust me when I say you will never find the full song. It's buried. For a long time we were told to immediately let the company know if the song was played anywhere. I heard it in a dressing room at a mall one time while I was shopping around mid-2010. I recorded it on my phone at the time to show my bosses, but I kinda never got around to showing them. The issue hadn't been discussed in a bit over 2 years, and I've never heard it again after that. I like to listen to it every now and then and think over all the things that happened because of it. My recording is attached to the email. Sorry in advance about my cough in there. I would have been nice to hear the whole thing, but I was honestly too afraid to stick around and listen to it. Only listened to it a couple times, never opened the file again. Whatever happens to this song, it kicks in when you listen to it on repeat. Please be careful. And if you ever hear the full song out in public, get out from wherever you are listening to it. Like I said, I don't know what you believe, but I, for one, I'm sure that Symmetry Icon made some sort of deal and the song is punishment for breaking that deal. Just be careful. Best of luck, Brad Hoskins. I downloaded the file and listened to it immediately. I recognized the song the second I heard it. I had no idea whether or not Hoskins is telling the truth, so I put the clip on YouTube and sent it to some friends to see if I recognized it. They all agreed that it is the song, including Matt. I don't know what to make of this. I mean, it is kind of catchy and out there kind of way, and I've listened to it a few times just because it is kind of enjoyable and reminds me of the days in college. Does anyone remember See You After Babe from 2008? I need to hear the whole song again. And it sucks knowing that I never will.